Kayla,
Hello.
sorry about that, man. I was scrambling. How you doing?
Good.
This is going to be a quick meeting. Oh, where'd my voice go? There it is. That's so weird. There we go. Yeah, Ronald. Jonathan, Ella, Dawson, come on. Dario. Did you get your packet, Dario? There you go. See, this makes my day, man. We got David Delarue in the house. This is first semester stuff right here. When you're working it. Right. Hey, this is going to be quick. You guys all do the online quiz yet? Your Skyward? Yes? No? You got till tomorrow night. So that probably means no. All right. Well, this is good that you tuned in because you're going to get a little love here. Then we're going to do one problem. We're going to get you guys out of here. First thing, though, questions. You guys have any questions for me? Wow. That is amazing. That's the master teaching. There's no, teaching, master teaching, I should have nothing but questions. But hey, gown pickup. It is at a weird time for me. So I'm trying to get over there, but just know if I don't see you today, I'm gonna make it work to where we, especially when they lift these sanctions, to where we do something, that I'm at a place and we celebrate, okay? In a positive way, your parents, whoever, okay? But my understanding is, well, I don't know. So we'll figure it out. But I just want you to know that. All right, let's go. What was that side for? What the heck? All right. So this was the question I wanted to, this is what was on the test, on the quiz. So I wanted to make sure that you got it. All right, let me share my screen. Where is it? I'll make this bigger. Bam, there we go. All right, share screen, Daddy. And then where's my spear? Right there. Yes. All right, so this is what was on your quiz. And I wanted to make sure that you guys had access to it. So let's talk about this. This is from a review session. Okay. And so the issue is this. Again, macro is all about relationships. Everything interrelates. So nothing happens in a vacuum. If you raise interest rates, you know how to raise interest rates, right? The Fed, they sell bonds, raise interest rates. Well, that has ripple effects. So if you raise interest rates, what happens to spending? What happens to spending by businesses and consumers? Does it go up or does it go down? I should give you guys
Down.
Yeah, it goes down. If you raise interest rates, people don't want to borrow money, so then they're not going to spend it. So yeah, it just goes down. So you're going to get a lot of true false questions like this on your online quiz. So I think one of them is, if interest rates go up, then investment increases. Well, that would be false. What if the government increases taxes? What happens to our income after taxes? That's what disposable income is. Money you have after taxes.
Decreases.
Decreases. See how easy this is? And obviously, this would be monetary policy, raising interest rates through markets. This would be fiscal policy, raising taxes. Either way, you're decreasing an inflationary gap. You're getting rid of aggregate demand, or you're lowering. All right, if you increase government spending, then what happens to our national income? Our income would increase, obviously. We're getting more money. Marginal propensity to consume. If you increase the MPC, the marginal propensity to consume, what happens to our spending multiplier? It's going to increase. The more we spend, remember the relationship MPC, and we either spend or we save. Well, we spend or we save. So if we save half our money and spend the other half of our money, then the multiplier is 1 over 0.5, it's 2. But what if we spend 9 times our money and we only save 1%? When you increase the multiplier, you increase our marginal propensity to consume. We spend more. Now it's 1 over 0.1, which is 10. Does that make sense? This is kind of a review. Well, it is a review. So if you don't understand that, then go back. But again, 1 over MPS is your spending multiplier. That's how many times money will get spent in a period of time. All right, capital stock. If we increase spending on factories, machines, all that stuff, what's going to happen to our long run growth, our economic growth?
Will increase.
It will increase. Bing, bang, bang. Wish I had prizes, man, just give out. This is where I need like people that talk like a game show. I just give you prizes. Let's pump it up. All right, if we increase inflation, or if inflation is increased, what happens to our real wages? Anytime inflation increases, it's going to decrease, right? If I'm making 100,000 this year and inflation's 2%, and next year inflation goes to 10%, what happens to my 100,000? It decreases. I don't have as much spending power, right? That's what we call that inflation tax. That was on your Unit 5. It's not anything that's in the code. It's not anything I owe the IRS, but inflation eats away at your wages, right? So real wages will go down. By the way, we did the 2017 FRQ on Tuesday, y'all, and it talked about real income, and I said it decreased. And I said it decreased because I was treating it like real wages. I was saying the same thing. Well, I did a bunch of research after, and they make a difference between real income versus real wages. Real income, you know what they call real income? GDP. So on the 2017 FRQ, when it said what happened to price level, that increased because AD shifted. Remember, AD was right here. Anytime you shift AD to the right, price level is going to increase, right? So we were here, and now we're here. So anytime AD shifts to the right, price level is going to increase. So we got that right. Well, then the next question is, what happened to real income? And the answer is that increased because it went from right here to right here. And I'm like, that don't make sense. Real income is my money I make. They said, no, real income is GDP. If we're talking the money you make, it's real wages. Okay, sorry about that, but I just wanted to clarify if somebody went back and looked at that. All right, inflation. If inflation goes up, what happens to the real interest rate? You're right. I could hear you thinking it. It decreases. Why is that? Well, if we have a nominal interest rate of 10% and inflation's at 2%, what's the real interest rate? 8, correct? If I'm charging you 10% and inflation's at 2%, I'm really making 8%. What if I charge you 10% and inflation is 0? How much am I really making now?
10.
10. Good job. So what if we increase inflation? What if inflation, let's say it's still 10, but inflation goes to 4? What am I really making now? 6. Good job. 6%. A 6% return. So when you increase inflation, real interest rates go down. Now, why are you doing this Zoom? First of all, you're awesome. That's why. Second, I'm making it beneficial because this is your quiz. So by getting this, you're getting a little bit more understanding of what we're doing. All right. The other thing is I'm all about consistency. It's okay to shorten a workout. There's nothing better in sports when your coach says, hey, whistle, we're done. We're like, what? And that was 45-minute workout, hour and 15-minute workout. And you're like, wait, I thought we were about here for 2 hours. No, you're done. You guys did a great job. All right. That's what I love doing. You know why? Because I love working hard for 45 minutes, an hour 15, instead of just lollygagging for 2 hours. So my point is, I'd rather do 15, 20 every 2 days. There you go. All right, money supply. If we increase the money supply, what's this called? Quantity of money. Duh. And this is the Fed, whatever the Fed. If we increase the money supply, third, could you put MS? Yes. Could you put DM? MD? Doesn't matter. Then the interest rate was here, let's say at 5%. When we increase the money supply, the demand, there's more money than there is demand, so there's a surplus. So that means they're just like a sale at a convenience store. They have to drop the interest rate at a convenience store, at Macy's. So when you increase the money supply, what happens to interest rates?
Decreases.
They decrease. You see how you know this stuff? All right, reserve requirement. That's another way the Fed can do it. What happens if they increase the reserve requirement? Say, banks, you need to hang on to more money. It's going to decrease the money supply, right? The banks have to hang on to more money. They can't loan it out. They don't have that much excess reserves. Same thing with discount rate. Discount rate is the rate between the Fed and banks. So if you raise the discount rate, banks won't borrow money. All right, if the central banks buys bonds, they're putting more money into the system. What happens? Well, shoot, what happens to the money supply?
Increase.
It increases. Don't worry about number 13. Don't worry about number 14. And then here, 15, interest rates. If interest rates go up, bond prices do what? We had this long discussion before. I'm just going to give you the answer. Bond prices go the opposite way. So whatever happens to interest rates, previous year, or I'll say prior, issued bonds, the price of them goes down. Why? They're not worth as much. If the interest rate is 5%, didn't we just do this, Kiana? You buy a 5% bond, now you're making money. You could have put it in a 3% checking account, but why? Are you going to make more money at 5%? You guys understand that, right? Let's do this. If I say there's a 50% interest rate, and my first semester knows this, 50% interest rate, is that good or bad? So the answer is it depends. It's bad if I'm borrowing money, right? If my house was mortgaged at 50%, or if my student loans are at 50%, that's terrible. But what if I put my money in a bank and I'm getting 50% back? 50% back would be awesome. So it depends if you are the lender. That's good. We're happy. But if we're the borrower, sad, okay? So if Kiana is the lender right now, she is trying to make money. She buys a bond at 5%. She's happy, right? Well, now they increase the money supply. The interest rate is 3%. So Henya gets a 3% bond. What would you rather have? Would you rather have that 3%, or would you rather have the 5%?
5.
Yeah, you'd rather have 5. It makes more money. Kind of like you'd rather have 50 is nice. Is 60 better? If you're a lender, sure. Remember, you're an investor now. You're trying to put money in the bank. So you're trying to make money. So you bought the 3% because that's all that was available. But Kiana's like, you know what? I'll sell you my 5%. And you're like, okay, I'll pay more money for that. So when the interest rate drops, bond prices go up. What if you didn't do that? You still have your 3%, and now they decrease the money supply. It goes up here. So now we're at 5%, and Ronald wants to buy a bond. So now just what happened? The interest rate went up. It was at 3%, and now it's at 5%. Ronald wants to buy a bond. Is he going to buy a 5% bond, or is he going to buy your little 3% bond? 5, yeah. So when the interest rates went up, your price of your 3% bond went down. It's not worth as much. Okay, that's why they go in opposite directions. Probably one question on one little thing, but it is so, you know, why not have it? All right, that's that. That is that. I have an idea that I'm going to send out, but since you guys are my counsel here, my trusted advisors, normally we do the 9 graphs of destiny when we're in class, right? It's a test grade, and you got to do the 9 graphs. So there's only 6 here. In fact, anybody tell me which ones are missing? What are the 3 that are missing that I've touched? Go ahead.
Business cycle.
Business cycle, nice. You're missing the business cycle. What's another one?
Oh, investment demand.
Whoa, I didn't even think anyone would get that.
Circular, I think circular flow.
Oh my God, you're on fire. All right, actually there's 9. The only other one is a very simple, simple supply and demand. So now we're looking at coffee, or we're looking at Nike shoes. And, you know, this is where you get not the CIGXN shifters, but you get the supply line bling shifters, you know, more income, technology. Please don't make me sing it. All right. I will. But, all right. So what I'm thinking, just throwing it out there, yes or no. And I will probably not listen to the first no. But I want you to make these out of just household items, man. Just out of spaghetti, out of socks, clean socks, by the way. You know, you can be creative. You can go outside and use a garden hose. Let you do one chalk on some concrete, all right? But I'm just thinking that would just be a neat way to, because otherwise I'm going to keep sending you stuff, and I want you to review. I want you to do that. I'm going to try a Google Doc just for fun on a problem and just see if you can answer it that way. But obviously you don't want to do it, but I'm just saying, would that be something that's kind of interesting?
Yes.
Wow, that's extra points. Extra points for everybody there. So Ronald's like, I want to say no really bad. Here's the point. It's either that or write them in, but I'm just thinking it'd be more fun, because then that way you guys give me examples, kind of like kindergartners, and then I can put them up on my board and my screensaver and just have them flashing around, and people are like, oh my God, who did that out of Christmas lights? Or who did that out of people? It's your whole family. You did a supply and demand graph out of people.
Happens.
Or ladybugs. You did a PPC out of ladybugs. You see that the possibilities are endless. Put a monarch butterfly is impossible. Okay. So anyway, throwing that out there. All right. What time is it? 10:21, 11:21. So we are almost done. We're done. I just want to do one thing. See if you guys have you been working on your your FRQ packet that I put out? Make sure you're going through these. We did the Atlantis one, comparative advantage. Then we did the CPI. I had this question on the quiz as well. All you got to do to find nominals, take the year and multiply it times whatever you made in that year. So the year's price, 2009's price times 2009's quantities. If you want to find 2010's nominal, it's 2010 price times 2010 quantities. Anytime you want to do real, then you just pick 1 year's price. So let's say 2009, that'll be our base year. So then you multiply 2009 price times 2010's quantities, or 2011's quantities, and you'll find the real stuff, okay? All right. For some reason, I didn't have anything in 3. Should we save this one for next week, y'all? Unit 4? Okay, I love you. We'll save it. You guys have fun. My fingernails are all jacked because I've been outside all day, so I'm going back out there, man. Gotta take care of it. Any questions? Make sure your people know. I'm going to put on a couple links. Where am I? What the heck? I'm going to put on a couple links. I don't want my hands there. Do it. On your Google Classroom, one is from AP College Board. It's just some websites, reviews. I'm telling you, that Thinkific, that study guide is the key. He also created some other reviews on YouTube. So you can go to YouTube, all right? And then Mr. Gibbs asked me to put some stuff for AP Government, some review things, in case any of you guys want that. So I'll put that up here, okay? All right, y'all. Keep smiling. Keep doing what you do, all right? Hang in there, man. May is the month. Birthday, May 15th. Turn 18. Get to drive. All right. You guys take care. Be safe. And I'll be seeing you. Hey, May the 4th, wear your Star Wars gear. May the 4th be with you. I want everyone wearing Jedi or something. You need to borrow a little clone trooper hat. I got it. We're straight. So Monday, special Star Wars edition review. All right. Peace. We'll do Star Wars problems. See you guys. Take care.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, 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 bye.